So in HubSpot, you have this really cool thing where you go CRM and you hit tasks and you can jump in. And this is kind of for every role. So you have your tasks, your all tasks, your overdue tasks. And the beauty of it is like what people do is they tend to look at a list of tasks and they kind of scroll up and down and they go, oh crap, I forgot to do this, send out the video. And so then they'll go, open this task or whatever. And I don't like that because what this does is you start to cherry pick what you're supposed to do, right? You start to kind of say, oh, I'm going to go do this. But yesterday you took care of today you and put these in a certain order because these are sorted by when they're due by date and time. So what HubSpot has is the ability to say, okay, let's start our 20 tasks. So it puts this little screen up here and then I have everything I need because I'm in the contact, right? So I've got everything I need to kind of work on this if I had to like go through and get started. And then I have my associated tickets. I got my associated deals. I've got my playbooks. So whatever this task tells me I'm supposed to do, I can then do, and I can make a call or I can email or whatever, but then I can either reschedule it for tomorrow. Let's say I can't do this right now, or I complete it. I don't like skipping. I wish I could eliminate this button here, but it's either reschedule or complete. But when I complete the task, then it goes to the next one. Now I have to, again, associate this because these are just a bunch of dummy tasks. So then it would just jump immediately to this task because you would never have a task not associated with a contact. So then same thing, I have another task, I can either reschedule or hit complete. This is the first order of efficiency is I don't keep going, okay, I did this task, back, CRM, tasks, come in here, look at my list, scroll up and down, pick this one, go do this task, complete it, come back, pick another one. No, it's just, all it is you just come up here and say, yesterday me told today me what to do. So I'm just going to jump in and click and start my 19 tasks. That's the first order of efficiency, is not having to back cherry pick, do, back cherry pick, do, back cherry pick, do. You just do. So this will actually be better to demonstrate with the iPad. So like I was saying, in any job role, you're going to have tasks assigned. So if we just focus in on deals, for example, right? You have create a deal. Well, maybe you have to order you have to order the measurements. You have to create the company cam. You have to schedule the appointment. Like there's tasks, right? And then when you have contracts sent, you're going to follow up. And then when you sign, you're going to have to do your job file playbook. You're going to have to update some information, right? When you get a job file playbook completed, the sales manager has to read it. He has to approve it, right? There's different tasks. Same thing with production, right? You have a new lead. You got to review the job file playbook. You got to look at the number of squares. You got to look at the company cam. You got to ultimately order the materials, call the customer, tell them, hey, does the second week of October work for you? They're going to say yes. You're going to schedule it. There's certain tasks, right? When an install is complete, you're going to have to review the pictures, you're going to have to review the change orders, you have to update the deal amount, you're going to have to get everything ready for invoicing. So if we just simplify this and say that a production manager in his day has several workflows. So if we color code this, we'll have our blue tasks, which has steps 1, 2, and 3. Then we have our green tasks, which has steps 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have our red tasks that are steps 1 and 2. And then we have our yellow tasks, which are steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so these are the things we have to do. And if we watch the behavior of a production manager, especially if they do this task playing view, because there's going to be different things. So they're going to say, okay, I'm going to set my tasks and how their flow of the day. So if we look at their day, so this is 8 a.m. and this is 4 p.m. if they're living in a dream world. Well, they're going to go blue, green, red, yellow, blue, red, green, or blue, green, yellow, red, green. And what you're seeing is what might seem fairly obvious, but because if you guys have been through my inside sales training, you remember my ABC 1, 2, 3 test. And the Cole's notes on that is if I ask you to go count from A to J, so if you use it right now, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, right? That takes 2 seconds. Now, if I get you to go from 1 to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, takes you 2 seconds. But if I tell you to go A1, B2, right? You're going to go A1, B2, C3, D4, E5, F6, G7, H8, I9, J10. all of a sudden that takes 11 to 14 seconds. And sometimes you make mistakes. The reason being is that most people make it to E5 and then their brain has to go A to F and then go +6. So they have to go A, B, C, D, F 6, A, B, C, D, F, G, 7. They have to do that in their heads. That's called context switching. Proven thing about humans is that we suck at context switching. We're better at doing repetitive tasks. It almost becomes like a working meditation. So the goal is to say, okay, well, let's figure out the smartest way to group our work. So let's do our 4 blues. Then let's do our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 reds. Then let's do our 3 greens. Then let's do our 3 yellows. Well, now all of a sudden we finish it in less time. And now there is extra time in our day to complete this because we did what's called batch work. Another thing that you could think of it as is an assembly line, but you're not hiring factory workers who are just putting a bolt. You have people, your production manager is doing a lot more. He is the factory, not the worker. So what he has to do is deploy himself in batches of work where he says, from this time to this time, I do my job file playbooks, because some of these then become reds. Well, now I actually got 2 more reds to fit in here because I took 2 of these turned into reds. He does all his reds. And then because he scheduled jobs, well, now he ended up getting a bunch more greens because he has to order all these materials. And so then because he's ordered all those materials, now he can go into scheduling jobs or like managing jobs or like kind of working with crews, and it fills in his day because it's an order of work. So in HubSpot, we create what's called a queue. So queue is a queue of things to be done, right? So install complete, review for billing, or job files to complete. So each one of these tasks, any tasks I can put in here, I can say, okay, and we do this with workflows. We can say, okay, fill in job file playbook. So currently that's not on a queue, but a job file playbook should technically be job files to complete. So we add that to the queue. And so then now it doesn't show up on my all list, but it is going to show up on my job file playbooks list if I have any there. So now what I can do, so as a salesperson, I would have my post-inspection follow-ups. So I would start those 8 tasks. Then I would do my job. Now, sometimes when I do post-inspection follow-ups, somebody is going to buy. See if we can match 15,240. That was my task. So when I can get to this task, I go, oh, we can match 15,240. So I say, hey, Mr. Customer, yes, we can match 15,240. They say, great, I'll sign right now. So they sign. So what happens? By completing that signature, they're going to move into my job files to complete. So not only am I going to have this one, but I'm also going to have this one here move into my job files to complete. So we have all these views that we've created that allow us to kind of keep our flow of work in order. So then, because then a sales manager is going to review those job file playbooks, the sales manager is going to review them. Then the production manager is going to have intake, and they're going to have to do their intake. Then they're going to have materials to order. Then they'll have jobs that are 2 days out. Then they'll have completed jobs where they have tasks. So they batch their work together. Again, this is just a demo account, but I wanted to kind of show you guys what you can do and whenever you're in any business and in like any CRM, if you can find a way to create task queues or task types to batch your work together, this allows you to do what I was just drawing before, was the ability to create that flow of work. And so it's very simple to do. We would just go into our manage our queues and we create these. So we have like follow-ups, install complete, review for billing, job files to complete, materials to order, post-inspection follow-up, sales manager, job file playbooks to review, unscheduled jobs, production liaison, jobs 2 days out. So this is install day. A workflow basically says when the install day is 2 days away, set a task for the production liaison to call the customer to say, hey, your job's 2 days out, you should probably know. And so that way they have their own views and their own queues. And this allows us to go from having a big giant list of bunch of things to do to saying being able to queue it up, not just by assignee, but by flow of work, so that we don't have to go step 1, 2, 3, 4, then green task, then red task, then blue task, then green task, then red task, then yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, red, green. We batch our work together and that's the second order of magnitude of efficiency that we create.